Lots of people have been asking me for tips on how to get bigger, how to bulk. Since I feel that the proper nutrition is often underestimated, I wanted to devote a whole video on how I eat, what my nutrition is when I'm trying to bulk. I've even put together a template with a bunch of calculations and functions that'll give you the exact meal plan you need to put on some size. Hello, I'm Roberto and welcome to my channel. Over the last few years, I've done many different bulking programs, different nutrition plans, and I've put together what works best for me. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I eat and how much I eat when I'm bulking. I've created this awesome spreadsheet with my Excel skills that'll help you, no matter what weight you are, determine what you need to eat to follow my plan. Please watch the whole video. I'll go over the template and explain all the meals. And afterwards, you can download the template from the video description. So without further ado, let's open up the template. Now that I have my template open, I'll give you a quick tutorial on how to use it and go over my meal plan for you. So starting off with the instructions, the first thing you want to do is enter your starting weight in the starting weight tab. I already have it set for me since I weigh 185 pounds right now. And what you'll also do is every 5 weeks, you'll go ahead and re-enter that number. So assuming that you're bulking, you should be heavier 5 weeks from now. So you go ahead and re-enter that and it'll repopulate the next 5 weeks of meals for you. The reason I do it in 5-week cycles is because for the intensity of my bulking workouts, I need to have a deload week every 6th week. And since I'm deloading and having a lot less volume, my nutrition will be a lot less as well. Secondly, under the instructions, you want to adjust the nutrition facts, only those orange cells, for particular brands of protein powders, protein bars, different types of food, whether they may be whole wheat bread, turkey sausage, rice cakes. Under the food tab, you'll see that you only need to adjust the fat, carbs, and protein nutrition facts, and it'll automatically adjust the calories for you. Important note, under the amount column, it'll tell you which unit of measure we're using. So for eye of round steak, we're using ounces. For bananas and eggs, we're using the actual just number of eggs and bananas. And for skim milk and non-fat Greek yogurt, we're using cups. Thirdly, you don't want to change any cells that aren't highlighted yellow and orange. If you do that, you might break the functionality of the Excel spreadsheet and you'll lose all of the calculations that I've inputted in here for you. Now, if you know how to use Excel and you want to change different food types, you want to add meals, you want to do something like that and use my template as a base, feel free to use that. Just know that you're at your own risk when you do that. Now, getting into the meal plan for each week. Once you put your starting weight, for each week, it'll update the daily needed row, which is row 64. So you'll see that for week 1, I need 72 grams of fat, 308 grams of carbs, 231 grams of protein. Now, I've adjusted all my meals to get as close to that as possible. You see that I'm a little bit under on fat and I'm a little bit over on carbs and protein, but I got as close as I could, and that's okay. You're not gonna get it exact. Just try to get it as close as you can. You'll also notice that in row 63, it kind of gives you a hint on what you need to adjust. So since I'm pretty close, I know that I'm good, but let's say that I had 5 rice cakes in there, I would see that I'm way over on carbs by 42 grams and over on calories. So if I just put that back to 0, I'm back to where I need to be. I know I might get some complaints that this meal plan is very basic and doesn't have much variety, but it's what works for me. It's very convenient, it's very easy to follow. If you're looking for more variety, there's little things I've built into the program that I'll go into further detail. But at the end of the day, transforming your body, whether it be cutting or bulking, is not easy. You have to make sacrifices. You have to do what you need to do. Now let's go over the different meals that I use. So for my first meal of the day, meal 1, which is breakfast, I start off with 2 eggs, half a cup of egg whites, a quarter cup of mozzarella, 2 turkey sausage links, and 2 pieces of whole wheat toast. For my meal 2, it's a mixture of boneless, skinless chicken breast, brown rice, and asparagus. Meal 3, I have a protein bar in there, different types, so I have to adjust the nutrition facts based on what type I'm using. And then for meal 4, it's back to that boneless, skinless chicken breast with sweet potato and asparagus again. If you haven't seen my first meal prep video and you want to make those meals, go back and watch it. It gives you easy step-by-step instructions to do so. Meal 5 is usually my post-workout shake. Now, if I worked out in the morning, that means that meal 5 might be my meal 2. So don't worry about the actual order of these meals. I just have them listed for template's sake. But starting off, I'll have 1.5 scoops of my whey protein powder and a banana. Meal 6, I love a strawberry banana smoothie. So I mix, my strawberries, bananas, skim milk, non-fat Greek yogurt, and I'll also have some oatmeal with it just to up those carbs. Because in this bulking program, you're gonna have to eat a lot of carbs. You see, I have meal 7 with another protein bar, and I have it set at 0 now. That's because I don't need to eat that protein bar in week 1. But as we go to week 2 and week 3, you'll see that I need to add some food there. For meal 8, this is my dinner, the last meal I have. I like to make it fresh. I don't like to meal prep it. So I'll cook either steak or salmon, and I'll have sweet potato asparagus. And then later on after dinner, I might have some almonds and some rice cakes, depending on how much more nutrition I need for the day. So just because the almonds and rice cakes are in that meal 8 doesn't mean I have to eat them with my steak. I can eat them right before bed, which is what I typically do. Or later on in the subsequent weeks, you'll see that I might be eating 5 or 6 rice cakes. I'll eat those throughout the day. So for variety's sake, let's say I want salmon today instead of steak. I can change that to 5 ounces of salmon and change my steak to 0, and it'll recalculate the nutrition facts for me. So you see that that salmon is a little bit more fatty than the steak. So I might have only 4 ounces instead of 5. And that gets me back to where I need to be. Moving on to week 2, you'll notice that that daily needed in row 64 is higher. So I had to go ahead and make some adjustments. Still don't need that protein bar yet. I did have to add some rice cakes, and I think I added an ounce of chicken to this meal as well. Actually, to both meals here. Week 3, even higher. Week 4, it'll get higher again. And week 5 will be the highest, most amount of calories that I have. If you look at this plan, you might think that it's not that many calories. That's because I like to bulk in a very slow and methodical way. I don't want to put on 10 pounds in 2 weeks. My goal is always 1 pound a week. So you'll see that my calories don't start all that high, but they do ramp up in the subsequent weeks. And even though the calories aren't that high, because it's such high quality, high nutrient food, the volume is going to be a lot. So if you feel that you can't eat all of this food, what you can do is find a good mass gainer supplement. And what that'll do is it'll turn maybe a couple of these meals into just some shakes that you drink, which might be easier on your stomach. Also for some variety, instead of my last meal, I might want to go to Chipotle or Subway or something like that. What I'll do is I'll get on the company's website, search the different nutrition facts, and find something that's similar nutrition-wise to one of these meals so I can have some variety. So like I mentioned before, after week 5, I'll go back to my starting weight. So let's say that in 5 weeks I gained 5 pounds. So I put this to 190, and you can see from week 1, it adjusted it up a little bit. Now it's still less than what week 5 was in the previous 5 weeks, but like I mentioned before, this will be a deload week for me. So that's fine that I have less nutrition coming in because my volume and my calories burned will be a lot less. Back to the instructions, as I mentioned before, you can move the meals around. You can have them in different orders. You can move some of the items from one meal to another. Really just kind of make it around your schedule and what works the most. The important part is to make sure you eat all of that food within that day. And that's the template. I hope that you go and download it. You can click my Dropbox link in the description. But please, I didn't want to put a price on it because I want to share it with everybody. Please pay what you think is appropriate for it. It'll motivate me to keep working hard and putting these great templates together for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video with your friends, leave any questions in the comment section, and check out my other videos. Thanks and have a good one.